Welcome to Dear Dilemma, where you send in your dilemmas and we answer them. Do you need an outside perspective?
Advice anonymously?
We're here to help. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is
Dear Dilemma. Welcome back to Dear Dilemma. We have some new submissions for you. These, again, are 100% anonymous, so not even Brooke or myself know who is saying what and who's writing in submissions. So, without further ado, we're going to switch things up today.
Ooh.
Brooke, take it away.
My first submission I get to read. Okay. My longtime friend drives me insane. She's judgmental but doesn't think she is, and all she wants to do is gossip. She's also rude a lot, but doesn't know that she is. Help.
Oh, man. That's kind of rough.
Well, you know, some people don't know how to read the room or read their body language or their face or their comments.
And also, if it's a close friend, that's really hard sometimes because you're like,
Yeah.
how do you go about telling one of your really close friends?
Yeah.
You're being rude.
I think it too depends on what type of person you are. I'm a person that just am straightforward with you, especially when it comes to like family and friends. I'm going to tell you. So like if you're being rude, I'm like, Hannah, what is your problem? Like you need to stop. But that's not for everyone. It truly depends on how.
And it depends on really how close they are. But it sounds like they've been friends for a really long time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, Brooke, you need to be like nicer to people.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
And maybe they've had that talk or maybe they haven't had that talk.
Maybe not.
So what then would, they do if they have had that talk and then the friend continues to, again, there's people out there that don't know how to read the room. They don't know how to read.
Like I said in our last episode, I hear my mom's voice. You know, you are who you hang out with. So does that mean
double trouble?
But ultimately, does that mean that she should stop being friends with her?
Ooh,
and move away from the friendship?
Well, that depends if her negativity wears off onto her and then she starts becoming, and like maybe another friend tells her like, hey, like you're being rude. And then you're like, wait, why? I've never been rude. And then you realize, oh, it's because I'm hanging out with someone that doesn't.
Or what if it's kind of like, you know, when you're out to eat or you're out somewhere with friends and one of your friends is being rude or mean, like to the waitress or something like that too. I hate that.
Oh, as a past server, that is.
But then you get mad at the whole table. Like you're not just going to be mad at that person. You'd be like, why are all these people friends with that person that's being rude? And why is nobody else saying anything?
It usually backfires on me because it's usually like a situation with maybe more of like my family and someone's being a little bit snippy and I will call it out and then I'm the problem. Like Uno reverses back to me. I'm like, wait a second.
I'm trying to be the nice one.
Yeah, especially like if you ain't tipping and you're being rude or whatever. Like as a past server, I will never, unless truly the service is terrible. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, that's backfired on me a few times.
Yeah, I don't know what your suggestion would be here. Like, do you take it up with your friend, or since it's been such a long time friend and this is ongoing, do you just deal with it?
No, I don't think you should deal with it. I do think that you should definitely have a talk. I mean, Hannah and I have been friends for a long time, even with a little bit of space in between. But again, I'm the type of person I'm going to call you out on your stuff. So if you were being rude, I would have a conversation. Yeah. Like maybe call it out while they are in the act and then say like, stop, like you're being really nasty. Like what is your problem? And then have like, maybe you leave an event or dinner or whatever it is and then have that conversation, maybe a phone call and just like see, because maybe there's something going on. And then, so she does say she is a longtime friend and drives her insane, red flag. Mm-hmm. She's judgmental, but doesn't think she is. And all she wants to do is gossip. Another red flag. Actually, two. So there's a couple and she's rude. So there's quite a few things going on. So I think we might have said this in a previous video. Sometimes friends are in your life for a season and it could be 20 plus years of friendship. It could be 2+ years, but they are in your life for a reason. And there are times and sometimes the friendship just needs to probably go separate ways. So judgmental, gossiping, which is never like, because then if you could get tied in.
You get wrapped up in it. You're like associated with it. Guilty by association type thing.
So that's like if Hannah was going out and talking at work and then they would be like, oh, well, like that was one of our fears with this is we didn't want people to think that we were just gossiping about like people's dilemmas, and that's not the case at all.
We genuinely want to help people and just build a community of
It would be different
support.
if we were going and telling people, oh, we're getting like the crazy stuff and I can tell you who it is. Well, we don't know who it is, and that's not the case. So gossiping's never good. It always backfires. Karma will come back and get you. And being rude.
Judgmental. I think it's hard not to be judgmental. I just want to speak on that for a moment because I feel like a lot of people are judgmental without even meaning to. But ultimately, our only judge at the end of the day is God.
True.
I mean, it is
Facts.
what it is. But it's hard not to pass judgment a little bit without even thinking of it. It's your first instinct. Yes, it's like a human instinct.
Yeah.
But it's different if you're like always being judgmental and then always gossiping about it too.
Then it's just a negative stacked onto another negative.
And
you're
rude.
not going to get a positive out of that. And rude.
There were like 3 things there.
Yeah. I suggest you have a talk with your friend if you haven't. If you had a talk with your friend, have one more. And if that doesn't change anything, it might be time where that friendship just needs to kind of...
You might have actually
Which sucks.
outgrown this friend.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of sounds like maybe you're in a different part of life or you see things differently.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you also have to surround yourself by people that have similar viewpoints. Or at least if they have different viewpoints, they consider your feelings.
Yeah. And I truly do think friends come and go for a reason. I didn't think that when I went through kind of like my first best friend breakup, as I like to call it, because I was sad, but it was also kind of, hurtful, and it's a sad thing to see because there used to be a lot of love, and then it kind of is like, it happens, like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. And now I look back, and then there's been people as friends that were not good for me and would, encourage me to do not good things. And now that I've, not to get into religion too much, but now that I've attended church, it's almost like God has taken away the negative people and then have put people back into my life, like Hannah, or people I've met recently that are just, it's 1-8, like so positive, so friendly, always there if you need them. And in the past, like that wasn't the case.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think we all need more peace in our life. It's hard to go to bed at night if you're not at peace with yourself or with the people around you.
Yeah. And if you're dwelling on this too, like if this is something that's bothering you every single day, that unfortunately sometimes if you just cut them out, you'll feel it sucks, but then you'll feel a relief that's like, wow, I don't have to carry their burden with me being, rude, and
you might feel a little lighter. And you could approach it just like, hey, I've noticed some certain qualities about you that I think I don't align with anymore. I think at one point I did align with those same qualities, or however you want to say it, not to always like place the blame on somebody else. No. But, hey, I think that I'm at a different point in my life. I think we're at 2 different spaces. Yeah. And if we can't see eye to eye right now, that's okay. Like we can be cordial, we can be acquaintances, but I just don't want to spend any extra time with you because obviously it's affecting this person that wrote in. Like,
well, and depending on how long, a long time friend, that could be, 10 years or more, and so it is hard because you get used to them, but people do change over time. I mean, you can even see it if you're married, like who you married sometimes isn't still the person that you're with. Like people just change. That's just how we are. That's how we adapt. It's human nature, sometimes you're not going to stay the same person. So I would highly suggest have a conversation, a sit down, or phone call. And if they don't listen and they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, then maybe kind of like back off and push yourself away. And maybe they'll realize like, wow, I have no friends anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe what's the common denominator?
Yeah,
myself.
You're the problem. If you're the problem, then
I mean, I think that person also needs to be able to see what their actions are doing to other people around them. So if they're not willing to look inside themselves or recognize those behaviors, even after it's been brought attention to them, then I think that ultimately you can't make that relationship work long term. So
no, that's why just have a talk. Really have a heart to heart, and especially if it's been a long time friendship, they're going to understand. They'll probably take it better maybe from you than if it was someone that they just met and it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. They'll either understand or they'll get mad and defensive, and then so be it. Like that's also if you decide to bring that up and you're considering ending that friendship or maybe taking a step back, then that's going to be your two consequences.
Yeah. And things happen for a reason too.
And it's okay to move on from friends.
Yeah. You'll find new friends.
Yeah.
He's going to put people in your life that is meant to be in your life, and he's going to take away people that are meant to take away. And that can even be family as well. Like it doesn't, there's no right or wrong on that.
And it's still okay to be sad. Like I went through a friend breakup, as you might say.
Yeah.
And I'm still sad about it sometimes. Like I still think back and I'm like, man, I wish that we could have made things work out.
Man, we used to have some good old times.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you
downhill.
You kind of have to mourn that friendship in a way too.
Yeah.
And it is sad, but ultimately we didn't see eye to eye on certain things, and that was a deal breaker. So, it is what it is now, and I wish that person all the best, but it is still sad looking back. So,
did you have a talk?
I tried to apologize. She was upset with me.
Oh.
And I tried to apologize. I tried to reach out, but at that point, I think she was over it. So she kind of broke up with me, really. So it's sad, but things happen.
Yeah.
And I tried to recognize and take accountability for what I had done that was wrong in that situation. And I think that's what you need in a friend. So if you address that with her, or whoever it is, and they're not willing to take accountability, to recognize the judgmental aspect, the gossiping all the time, the rudeness, then those are things that you're just going to have to move on from, I think.
I would want Hannah to call me out if I was that all the time. I mean, everyone has their days, we get it, but if it's constant, like I would 100% want her to call me out. And then I would also want, if I was that bad friend, I would want people to not be around me, because obviously I'm bringing them down.
Well, I mean, true friends are going to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
That's what the whole concept of having a true friend is. So if you're not willing to just say it how it is, then you're not really true friends.
Girl, you're going to need to buckle down. You're going to have to get your serious pants on and have that conversation.
Get some courage.
You can do it.
And just tell her how you feel.
Yeah.
Nicely, appropriately.
Yep.
Try not to place the blame too much.
Listen, try one more time. Be like, okay, I'm just telling you, we'll talk later. And then if the second time, nothing.
Yeah.
Peace.
Time to move on with your life.
I promise you will find someone that is not negative and could be a long-term friend forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I hope it works out. I hope she realizes and she kind of maybe reads the room when she's wherever she's at.
Yeah.
And listens to you and your friendship continues.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Dear Dilemma. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Dear Dilemma. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, as we will drop new episodes weekly.